Welcome, everybody, to Light Your Way to Health and Wellness with Paula Shaw. I am truly delighted to be here today, bringing you a new show, something different, and something I'm really excited about because for over 28 years, I have been helping people shift their state of being, shift their attitude, their feelings, their emotions, and through working with their energy, with their light. And when we do that, when we work on that level rather than just a talking level, rapid results are possible and rapid change is a reality. And so I thought, even though I have really been enjoying the highlights from the Silver Linings Playbook segments that we're doing each day at 11:30, on two of those days, Tuesday and Thursday, from now on, we'll be doing Light Your Way to Health and Wellness with Paula Shaw. And on this show, I'm going to be wanting to share people. We'll be interviewing people like our fabulous guest today, Ellen McCarty. And I'll also be sharing products, tools, techniques, things that I feel and I know because I've used in my own life are really life enhancing and life changing. So I'm excited that you're here with me, and I look forward to what we can create together because it's a time right now when the whole world is really very focused on how we think and feel and what we're doing in our lives to keep ourselves healthy and strong. And so that's my goal, to do everything that I can to be giving you the tips and my knowledge, my strength, hope, and experience of many years here now of what are the things that have helped me most. So that's the goal, that's the plan, that's the dream for this show. And now, without any further ado, let me introduce somebody very, very special. Remember, some of you who may have seen yesterday's highlights of the Silver Linings Playbook segment, I spoke about a socially appropriate, distant visit with my dear friend Ellen McCarty over the weekend. And we sat 6 feet apart on her patio. We followed all the rules, but it was so wonderful to actually be looking at another human being that wasn't on a screen and to just be talking about the issues of the heart that are so prevalent right now. And Ellen had some amazing insights. And it hit me right then and there that she had to be the person who helped me with this inaugural episode of this new venture. And so let me tell you just a little bit about Ellen. And then I just can't wait to bring her on so we can chat and she can bring as much enlightenment to you as she does to me every time I see her. So for over 20 years, she's been a business and marketing strategist. She's helped over 800 people. And I realize I'm trying to look at my notes without my eyes on. That's not working very well. Okay. And she has a magic about her that involves her intuition, that involves her years of experience, and I really think that involves her heart. This is a woman with a beautiful heart. And so she isn't just trying to help people succeed financially. She's helping them to create something sustainable that works in both their life and their business. So I am so excited and delighted to introduce you right now to my dear friend, Ellen McCarty. Ellen, please join us.
Paula, that was beautiful.
Well, so are you.
Wonderful to see you, even on the screen.
I know, you're looking very lovely today.
Thank you, darling. I'm
So,
happy to
Ellen,
be.
when we were together the other day, you opened my eyes to two huge pieces. You were kind of talking about how, with both your heart, your mind, and your intuitive ability, you're kind of feeling the energy of what's going on right now among people. And there are a couple of major trends you said you've noticed, and I would love it if you'd share that with everybody.
Yeah, thank you. I've been quiet, which, if you know me, is very unusual. Okay. But I've been quiet, and I've been witnessing and listening and working with my clients. And, what you're referring to, Paula, and it really did hit me like this. I'm hearing two major trends. One is either I don't want to go back to the way that I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to change something up there, right? Love what I do, but I don't want to do it that way. I want some ease and grace, right? And
Yes.
the other one is I don't want to go back at all. I
Mm.
don't want to go back at all. Who am I?
Wow.
What is it that I will do,
Mm-hmm.
right, coming out of this? So those are two, yeah, very, very prevalent, um, consistent conversations that I'm having, right?
So
Where we're walking around in there.
I don't want to go back at all, or I don't want to do it the way I was doing it.
I want to do it the way I was doing it. And
Yeah.
I think what's happening is, this is like a personal pandemic, right? It's very personal. And
Yeah.
Paula, you and I have spoken about how literally everybody is grieving. That's
Yes.
really what's going on here, right? There's a lot of grieving and loss, and it's all different stages. And I like to say it's like midlife crisis or menopause. It's not something that you can go through together, right? Or with someone. You actually have to do it individually, which is incredibly challenging in these
Mm-hmm.
times of being quarantined together,
Yes.
right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, the conversations that just have been magical. And I think a lot of people are saying, gosh, for so long, I feel like I've been getting ready, to get ready. I've learned all the tools. We've learned all our skills, right? I mean, look at you. You have mastered, right? You would balk at that, but this Facebook thing, and you wouldn't go near it before, right? So we know that we're capable of applying processes and skills that are already out there to
Yes.
support us. So
Yes.
I feel like now's the time where people who are not looking to go back to the same thing
Mm-hmm.
are saying, gosh, this is what I've been getting ready for, and its time is now. And the people who don't want to go back to doing it the same have had enough quiet time to recognize where they've been leaking their energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Talked about energy, right? Where am I leaking my energy? Where am I spending time sort of spinning around and spinning my wheels or making it harder than it needs to be? So those are the majority of the conversations. Yeah.
So interesting. And I think so many people listening can relate to exactly what you're saying. I know I can. And
Mhm.
one of the questions that you said that you asked that I thought just cut right to the heart of the matter that I want to suggest to everybody out there that they ask themselves. And what was that question, Ellen?
So that question is, and I love to play it up a little bit, right? It's like, what would you do if money wasn't an issue? So for those of you who are thinking of really like blowing it up and coming out stronger in something entirely new, the inquiry would be about like, what is it that like I couldn't even stop you from doing,
Mm,
even if you weren't paid for it,
yeah,
right?
like what
Like,
lights you up, right?
and Paula, you're doing exactly that. You're a very great example of that, right? It doesn't matter that you can't be at your radio station doing your radio show.
Mhm.
This is what you have to give,
Mm,
right? This is where
mhm.
you can make a difference.
And I
And
think it's
yeah,
that it's what's your oxygen, what lights you up is a really important aspect of that, because when the pandemic started and I'm looking at, whoa, most days I don't have anything particular I have to do, since a lot of people were not really feeling comfortable showing up for therapy, and some do work on Zoom and on the phone and some don't want to, but it was kind of like, when I started the highlights for from the Silver Linings Playbook, the other 11:30 segments I've been doing, it was totally from my heart. It was totally an act of, wow, this is a crazy time. There's a lot of negativity out there. What is that calling upon me to offer?
Mm.
And there was no money in it. You know, I mean, I go on Facebook every day. I got to take my shower, do my hair and my makeup. Some days I go, what were you thinking? But it feels good.
Paula, that's such a good example because no, it's sort of like no sleet or rain or snow can keep you from actually doing it, right? The
Yeah.
fact that you have had to deal with the technical aspects of it weren't enough to stop you, right? The fact that you get beautiful for us every single weekday, right? And it takes something to put all of this together, right? And that isn't stopping you. There's no money coming through from it, but you can't stop you from giving the gifts that you really are here to give, right? And to put some things in context about how I feel about this quarantine, I think it's a beautiful shakeup, and it's worldwide, you know, and this Mother Earth is healing. And I love the stories like the animals coming out on the streets and the beaches and the places where they haven't been able to be, and the photographs from a distance of the earth and how the pollution is healing, and, you know, like how the earth itself is really healing. And as a nucleus, we're all doing that. We've been given this great gift of hitting the pause button. And I see that a lot in my coaching. I say, so when something triggers you, hit the pause button, right? We've been given this extensive pause button, right? Which is confronting. And we're all doing us, right? We're all dealing with us. And so what's amazing to me is that we get to create, it's where imagination and vision, right, is really what's up. Imagination and vision, because we have all those tools and resources, Paula. We can reach for them. There's strategies, there's ways to do it, but we only need to pull in those ones that are applicable or that are in line with what it is that we're up to, right?
You know, I love what you're saying, Ellen, and yet I also know it's true that a lot of people out there are so financially scared right now. They're so, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay the bills next month. What do you say to them, and how do you move them from this panic, so to speak, to a place where they can actually work with themselves, work with their tools, and create something more beautiful out of what to a lot of people is a terrible crisis?
Exactly, Paula. It's a great question. And so first and foremost, and this is one of the things I adore about working with my clients and friends and family, is that you have to create a safe space, right? I mean, fear is rampant, right? It doesn't take much to go there, guys. We all have it, right? And it's different for all of us, but it doesn't take much to go there. But when you can get in a safe space, in a conversation where, you know, the space is truly being held for your best self to show up, right? It's a safe place to express the fear. And expressing is really an important part right now because we're purging. Right? We've got to express this stuff. It's got to be heard or written or emoted, right? Sound is very important in helping us move through this. And so being able to be in a conversation first and foremost where you are safe so that you can converse about fear and let it move through you, right? And the magical thing that happens when you allow that fear to live in you for a moment is that you actually allow it to pass, right? We've got to allow that flow going, right?
You know,
so, yeah, go ahead.
Just one thing I wanted to add that I so love about what you're saying, because as I was saying in the opening of the show, everything is energy. And a bit ago, when you talked about hitting the pause button, when
Yeah.
we're getting triggered, we're in our right brain and we're into a very emotional state. Very hard to problem solve or make things better
Mm.
when we're in that emotional brain. But hitting the pause button, I so love that, because when you take that breath and you hit the pause button, now you can shift into your left brain where problem solving ability lives. But first you have to feel the feelings and experience the right brain stuff.
And I think an important part of pivoting the fear,
Uh-huh.
right, is to feel it and recognize that it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more important than that we feel good.
Mhm.
So that's why you can't stop me doing what I do, because maybe it's being brought up Irish Catholic and all the suffering or whatever, but I've always been really bent to, my God, you don't have to spend any time suffering. It's really optional. It really is. Now, that's not to say that it's not valuable and that we don't all do it,
Mm.
but it is a choice. It's a perspective that you're holding, right? And so, since we make it up anyways, let's make up stories that make us feel good, because the power of feeling good is that runaway inspired momentum, right? When you feel good, you're really in connection and alignment with what you're really here to do, who you really are, what your gifts are. And we need all the healing of this earth. And absolutely no one is exempt from how they can heal this world during this process. We all have our unique ways. But what happens is that when we feel good, it becomes this inspired momentum train, and I love it. It's like, and you know it, you can feel it, and I'm sure your audience can remember the feeling of saying, wait a minute, and then, oh, and that person came in, I can call them, and they can help me with this part, and oh my gosh, this just totally connected all these dots for me on that, right? That's what it really feels like to be living in inspired momentum. And we all know it. And the goal is to do more of that, like really do more of that. And part of that is finding out who you are. We're all in this sort of incubator by ourselves, dealing with ourselves right
Yes.
now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to say, from an energetic perspective, because I always come from energy on everything that I'm looking at. When you feel good, you're at a higher vibration energetically, and it's impossible to connect with a high vibration if you're not at one. You will connect with a vibration that's equal with you. So if you're at a low vibration and the vibration you really want is up here, you need to come up to that level to be able to be a vibrational match to that high vibration of what you want.
That right there, I love so much, because I believe that that's what I help people get to, right? I can hold the space for them, for their vision, for who I know them to be, just in a conversation,
Yes.
right? I can really, and you mentioned my intuition, and it really serves me well, right? It's really beautiful. But the idea is to get here because, as Abraham Hicks would say, the better it gets, the better it gets,
Yes.
right? And the worse it gets, the worse it gets,
Mhm.
right? So you can keep that energy down, which is choice, right? But we don't all have choice until we can distinguish what it is. What's this?
Mhm.
What's in the way, right?
So true.
And
And
yeah, so
you
through
help people
conversation,
do
yes,
that. When you're working with people, that's one of the things you help them do,
exactly.
is
That's where we,
distinguish what's in the way and make that shift, right?
yeah, and we don't have to remain stuck, people, right? We don't have to remain stuck. What do we want our lives to look like coming out of this,
Yeah.
right? Like, what we can make it up, anything, because technology has gotten to a point where you could dream up the most wildest thing, and there's people out there who could put it together for you,
Hmm.
right?
True.
Yeah,
So true. And I love the idea of, why not be outrageous? You
yeah.
know, what's your outrageous big ass dream? What's the thing you never really thought you could do, but you
Right?
always
Yes.
wanted to, right?
Yeah, and it's so fun to go there. And, you can explode it and then bring it back in, right? And you can find this other place. But coloring outside the lines, I call it, like, really, let's go big, let's go bold.
Yeah.
And people who know me in my coaching will talk about when I say the 10,000-foot view, right? Like,
Mhm.
from a distance, the world looks blue and green, right? Like, I always try to get to the big picture vision, because otherwise you're in the weeds. What's in the weeds of the life that we live are our reasons, our judgments, our
Fears.
our fears, yeah,
Mhm.
our reasons, our judgments, our fears, our mechanics about how we're currently doing things, right? Relationships, everything's all in there. But from the 10,000-foot view, you really can connect more easily, more directly with, who am I? Who
Right.
am I in this?
Right.
That like this, right? Like, how do I want to create this look?
Mhm.
And the world's our oyster, it really is.
It is. And that's why I call my radio show Change It Up, because people have this love-hate relationship with change. We need it to make life better and more exciting and to grow. But all humans hate the discomfort of the unfamiliar. And that's basically what you're talking about. There is that leap of faith, that act of courage to jump into doing something that's not familiar for you.
And we're all really free falling right now, aren't we? We're
Well,
all falling. We don't know where it's going to land, right? And the real comfort and can come from being able to take the big picture vision, look
mm,
at who you are, who you're going to be, even if nobody pays you to be that, right? Who,
yes.
what is it that is your jam, And it's super fun to think about, and anything goes, right?
I still love that. And I know, Ellen, you're helping people sort through that right now because you're moved to do that. During this time, I know you mentioned to me the other day, you asked yourself, how could I give back? What could I offer at a time like this to help people who are asking themselves or who are having either one of those two feelings? I don't want to do it the way I did, or I don't even want to do what I did. So why don't you tell our viewers and listeners what you're offering right now? And then I want to talk a little bit about a product I love that helps a lot with stress during these kinds of times. And then we'll talk about your offer again. So tell them what you're offering, because it's so fabulous.
Yeah, I'm really excited because this isn't about being a business owner or an entrepreneur necessarily.
Mm.
Okay. And I do primarily I work with authors as well, like I can coach projects and things like that. But I really want this to be whoever you are, wherever you are. If you would like to connect with what it is that you're actually here, connect with your real being, right? Your inner being, get into alignment, find out what it is that juices you, and explore that, right? One of the things that happens when you do that is the fear doesn't live there anymore, right? Like, you really can separate the concerns from, oh, but who I am is this,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So what I thought I could do is offer 15 hours next week of my time, that I will do 90-minute sessions with anybody who would like to take me up on it. It's over the phone. We do what I typically would call a discovery session,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing to prepare for. You bring yourself, you bring your life. It's perfect where you are, and we'll be in conversation. And my commitment is to help you get something unstuck, get you in alignment. We'll talk from the very beginning what your intention is for the
Mm-hmm.
call. My commitment is to provide it, and that's free of charge. And they're going to be 10 90-minute sessions available for free. And we'll be
And
scheduling them.
how do people sign up for that or get a hold of you?
So thank you. Two ways. One is, if you're my friend, and even if you're not, you may recognize me. If you go to my Facebook page, it's Ellen McCarty. And you can private message me there. Just say I'm in with a name and a phone number of where I can reach you, and I'll connect with you and we'll get you scheduled. And then for those who are not going to access me that way, you can text me at my private number here, which is 760-805-4070. 760-805-4070. And just send me a text like, I'm in, I'm Harry, and here's my phone number, and we'll connect. I promise you. I look forward to it.
And may I say, this woman is my coach, and she's magic. She's not only very, very knowledgeable about all the business stuff, she's a great human. And she takes all of that into accounting. I know I've talked with so many people and had people in my own practice who've come to me and said, oh, my business coach wants me to do this, and I don't know, I can't make myself do it, or that kind of thing, because the business coach is not really looking at who they are as a human being. That is never the case with Ellen. She is always in touch with who you are as a human being. So I can't recommend her more. And Ellen, I will tell you, and I want to share with everybody, because my commitment on this show is not only to introduce great people like you, but to also introduce products I love and that I use. I will never talk about anything that isn't something that I use. And many of these products I have nothing to do with, but I will bring them to you because I know they're of value. And especially now at a time when we're all concerned about our health and keeping our immune system strong. So today I want to talk a little bit about a patch, a phototherapy patch that is made by a company called LifeWave. And Ellen, I know you're familiar with these because I've turned you on to them, but I'm going to share my screen here so that I can just show a couple of, well, maybe I'm not. Where did it go? It was right here only moments ago. I guess I'm not going to share my screen. Let me see. No. Okay. We'll just stop that. And then we'll go back to where we were. Darn, I had a couple of slides I wanted to show you, but I guess instead I'm just going to talk about this product because it is near and dear to my heart. This is what a sleeve of these products looks like. And they are just simple, little round. I always have one on. And of course, right now, there's not one in sight. They're round, almost like a little Band-Aid. In the center of the product is crystals. Organic crystals. You know what am I thinking? I'll just open this sleeve and show you what they look like. But this is an all natural product. There are no drugs and no chemicals in it. And very often some of you, oh, you've got one right there. Thank you, dear. That's it. So you can
see off my body.
Ellen is wearing her patches and I'm wearing mine too, but they're too hard to get to. But anyway, what I want to say about them that is important is you're looking at no drugs, no chemicals. There are natural organic crystals, which are programmed with a certain frequency. Remember, we're talking about lighting our way to health. These patches work with the light of your body to elicit very specific responses from your body. Aeon, which is this patch that we're talking about today, Aeon, Aeon is designed to reduce stress and inflammation. Just the other day, someone was with me and she'd fallen and hurt her knee and it was quite swollen and not too good. And I put an Aeon patch on it and she looked at me like a few minutes later and went, this is kind of crazy, but it feels better already. And that's because these patches work at the speed of light. Sometimes people are in physical pain and they put an Aeon patch on and within minutes or seconds, they feel a difference. I often have clients come in who are really upset. I mean, almost fetal ball, sobbing. Some of you may be going through some of that. It's like you can't take it one more day.
Mm.
You just put one of these little Aeon patches on one of the recommended places, usually on the back of your neck here, or just below your belly button. And I'm telling you, I watch them shift before my eyes. And they always say to me before they leave, wow, I feel so much better. So if you would like to know more about LifeWave phototherapy patches using no drugs or chemicals, because you might want to get yourself more grounded, especially if you've been watching a lot of news and you're into the fear, you might want to get yourself more grounded before you do that session with Ellen. And then you're going to be more present and you're going to get more out of it. So if you would like to learn more, either private message me here on my Paula Shaw Facebook page, or you can go to my personal website for LifeWave, which is lifewave.com/safe health. That's lifewave.com/safe health. And I will also put that link in the notes after we finish this show. And so, Ellen, I think one more time, I want to say that this amazing offer you made of a 90, count that folks, 90-minute complimentary session with one of the great pros out there who's been in this business a long time. I mean, I would jump on that really quickly. And Ellen, one more time, can you give them the information how they can reach you?
Sure, thanks, Paula. It's either on my Facebook page, private message me. It's Ellen McCarty. And otherwise, my phone number where you can text me. And I'd like to hear I'm in, your name, and a number where I can reach you. And we'll connect. And that number is 760-805-4070.
One more time, that number?
760-805-4070. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.
Yes. And if any of you have any problem, I will have Ellen's phone number and contact info also on this page. So, my dear friend and one of the most beautiful, gifted people I know, thank you for helping me launch this new venture. I'm very excited about it because I realized that light is something I have been working with for a long time. And
okay, I have to say this before you exit. I called Paula. She told you that she calls me Ellen McCarty because that's how her, what is it, Siri does it on your
Siri,
phone?
yes, her name is Ellen McCarty, MC, capital C-A-R-T-Y. My Siri calls her Ellen McCarty.
And I called Paula P. Shaw Light because that was an email address you had. But you are all about light, my friend. And I want to also thank you for your 11:30 to 11:30, for mixing it up, for doing the Tuesday and Thursday with this wellness and light our way to health and wellness. Where we can actually get the resources that we're looking for and really handpick them for ourselves, right? I don't know what day of the week it is or time of day, except for weekdays at 11:30. I'm like, oh, okay, it's not a weekend yet. Paula's on. So thank you for that grounding and gift, Paula.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being on the planet. I know I'd say that for many, many people. All right, and thank you all for being here for our inaugural episode of Light Your Way to Health and Wellness. We will be doing another one on Thursday, and on Thursday, my guest will be Tom Palladino, who is also making another incredible free offer that's pretty important at this time. So don't miss us. We'll be back at 11:30, and I'll see you tomorrow at 11:30 for highlights from the Silver Linings Playbook. All right. Bye, everybody. Mwah. Bless you, Ellen.
Bless you.
Take care.